Today, we are going to be showcasing some brand new, exclusive gameplay of the all-new activity Gambit, coming in the Forsaken expansion for Destiny 2. The focus of this video is going to be to showcase and talk about the brand new supers coming with this DLC. They are pretty crazy, so let's get started. What is up, guys? Rick Cactus here, and today I am very excited to be talking about Gambit, the Forsaken expansion, and focusing in this video on the brand new supers. Got to try out a couple of them, got to see even more, and I did make a separate video on the bows. I got to play with a brand new exotic bow. If you haven't seen that, definitely check that out as well. But if you haven't seen that video, let's very quickly talk about what the heck Gambit is. So, Gambit is a PvE-VP mode. You face off against another team, but both teams are in separate arenas. In these arenas, you have to bank moats, and you get moats by just killing enemies. So you kill a bunch of enemies, stock up on moats, run back to this bank, and then deposit those moats. If you get 75 moats, you will spawn a primeval. If you kill this primeval before the other team, then you win the round. Now, if you bank moats in certain large numbers, so if you bank 5, 10, or 15 moats at a time, you're going to send an enemy boss, a blocker, to the enemy team's arena, and they won't be able to deposit any moats until they kill this blocker. Additionally, once you get to 25 moats, your team can send someone through a portal to go and harass and kill the other team. Additionally, when you are fighting the primeval, the other team can come through into your arena pretty much constantly, and every time they kill you, it heals your primeval. So it's pretty hectic. It's actually a really fun and engaging mode, but again, in this video, we are focusing on the brand new supers. So, with the Forsaken expansion, each of the 9 different subclasses in the game are all getting a brand new super. And this also seems to be coming with another skill tree, like another attunement attached to these supers. Because when I was playing the brand new Striker Titan, which we'll talk about in just a sec, I had a brand new melee ability. When I was running, I would get, of course, the little blur around my screen, which indicates a shoulder strike. And many times I tried to perform said shoulder strike, but instead I would charge directly down to the ground, essentially a mini Fist of Havoc with Death from Above from Destiny 1. This is really cool, and again, this is its own thing. This isn't attached to the super in the sense that you don't do it when you're utilizing your super, so that means you're obviously getting a new melee ability when you also choose the attunement to get this super. And that's really exciting and potentially really huge. So not only are you getting 9 new supers, you're also potentially getting new melee abilities, confirmed at least for the Titan, and even new grenades as a possibility as well, which is really going to shape the dynamic and change up gameplay when Forsaken launches. But we mentioned the Striker Titan, let's talk about the brand new Forsaken super for the Arc Titan. So, it's a slam. Now you may be thinking, wait a minute, isn't Slam already what the Striker Titan does? Well, yes, but this one has quite the twist to it. You see, when you activate this brand new Slam and you're in the air, you start essentially flying. Like, you literally become an electrified version of Superman and fly around the map, as you can see. Now, it's actually pretty disjointing and I would say discombobulating when you first try this, so I definitely hit the ground a little early a couple of times. Like, it's going to take some taking used to, but it is an incredibly powerful ability. The devs were saying that you can jump up and activate this and fly all the way across the map. They don't really have like a timer. It's not a short thing. You can fully control your flight, weave between buildings, find the other team, and dive bomb right to slam them. That is pretty darn sweet. And something else that you wouldn't otherwise know about this new super is that when you are flying low to the ground, you can actually fly through low-level enemies and you will hit them as you go through. Like, you'll electrocute them as you go through, and you will keep flying. So you can graze the ground, take out a bunch of thralls or dregs, and so on, and then go back up into the sky, find like a bigger target, and slam down on that bigger target. Now, if you do hit like a yellow health enemy, you will actually hit essentially an object and stop and do your normal slam when you do so. But that was a pretty crazy twist that I didn't know until it was told to me. So, where do I see this new super working into the game? Well, definitely it seems like a PvP focused version of the slam essentially. Because yes, you can use it in PvE and it'll be an absolute blast, I'm sure. Having slam after slam after slam is probably going to end up in more damage, especially if you have Aftermath on, right? But in PvP, this is, far superior than a normal slam. You can jump into the air when you spawn or wherever and just fly through the air. You're very hard to hit and then come down exactly where the enemies are camping. If you have enemies camping down a hallway, just fly right around the map and come and hit them from behind or right through. Like, you can go wherever you want. You actually have a pretty decent amount of maneuverability when in the air. There's going to be some pretty disgusting slams coming out as soon as Forsaken launches. Now, moving on from there, the second super I was able to get hands-on with was the brand new Void Dancer Hunter. So, the Night Stalker tether is getting a very different counterpart with the Void Dancer. So, with this super, you essentially become pretty similar to the Blade Dancer in Destiny 1. You take out 2 Void Daggers, and you're able to slash enemies. So you'll see I get a pretty crispy double kill when I invaded the other team, and you just kind of slash through the air, very, very, again, similar to Blade Dancer, until you hit your target. But something else that Bungie said would be a feature of this super is that when you activate this Void Dancer new super, you can, get ready for this, you can see through walls. So that is a massive advantage when you have a super that's focused on melee combat. You can wait behind the wall, you see the enemy coming, and as soon as he comes through the door, just hit him. Or you can see exactly where the enemies are camping, like waiting for you, and go a different direction or surprise them. And that is, again, very, very cool and super, super useful. And I see this very much as another PvP focused super. Tether is so unbelievably useful in PvE, like especially with Orpheus rigs. I can't imagine ever taking it off for this, which is just the sad truth of the thing. But in PvP, it's kind of the opposite. Tether is often underwhelming, and so having access to this seems like a pretty big boon, and we may see Night Stalkers make a resurgence in the Crucible. Now, moving on from there, the third super that we got to see, unfortunately I didn't get to play as it, but I got to see it in action, was the brand new Dawnblade Warlock. So now, instead of taking out your flaming sword and throwing it at opponents, you take out your flaming sword, plant it into the ground, and create this massive, essentially, healing rift, or I should just say rift around you that gives you a bunch of different bonuses. Firstly, you get health regeneration, and the longer you stand in this rift, you'll actually get more and more and more health. In addition to that, they did talk about they're playing with some damage increases as well, so you'll do a little bit more damage, kind of like Weapons of Light in this rift as well. And that might change in the final product, but right now it's quite a lot of buffs you get for this rift. That is a much, much different super than we're seeing with the other two. The other two are very aggressive, very kind of PvP focused. This is the opposite. I would say this is definitely a PvE focused super. You plant this rift, and it's giving you increased health, you're getting harder to kill as you stand in it, and potentially it's giving you more damage output. That seems like the exact thing you want to do if your team is coming together to, I don't know, damage Argus would be a great example, and the many, many other times you band together as a team in PvE and try to DPS a single target. So this sounds quite useful. Now, especially if it does end up giving you a damage bonus, it will for sure see some PvP play, but because it's open, because it's not like the bubble from Destiny 1, where you could use Weapons of Light and then kind of move in and out of the bubble to protect yourself, This one, you know, if your team all conglomerates on you and stands to get this buff, yes, it's sweet and all, unless someone on the enemy team has a rocket launcher. And then, I mean, one shot and you're all in the exact same spot, so that might not end up super well. But I really like how this super is totally different than most other supers in the game. We have basically no support supers, they're all offensive supers, except for kind of the tether. So this is really our first like support-based super where you can use it and it just really buffs your team. And that combined with healing rifts, we could see the emergence of a support class with the Dawnblade Warlock emerge, and that's really cool. And so guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. And if you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.